Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 4 of our Advent devotional series. This morning's scripture comes from, give me just a minute. Genesis chapter 45. So if y'all are ready, let's get started. And the word says, Then Joseph could no longer control himself before all his attendants, and he cried out, Have everyone leave my presence. So there was no one with Joseph when he made himself known to his brothers. And he wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard him, and Pharaoh's household heard about it. Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still living? But his brothers were not able to answer him because they were terrified at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, Come close to me. When they had done so, he said, I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed, do not be angry with yourselves for setting me free here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. For 2 years now, there has been famine in the land, and for the next 5 years, there will be no plowing and reaping. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. I'm going to underline that one. So then it was not you who sent me here, but God. He made me a father to Pharaoh, lord of his entire household and ruler of all Egypt. Now, hurry back to my father and say to him, This is what your son Joseph said. God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Don't delay. You shall live in the region of Goshen and be near me. You, your children, your grandchildren, your flocks and herds, and all you have. I will provide for you there, because 5 years of famine are still to come. Otherwise, you and your household and all who belong to you will become destitute. You can see for yourselves, and so can my brother Benjamin, that this is really I who am speaking to you. Tell my father about all the honor accorded to me in Egypt and about everything you have seen, and bring my father quickly down here. Down here quickly, excuse me. Then he threw his arms around his brother Benjamin and wept. Benjamin embraced him, weeping. And he kissed all of his brothers and wept over them. Afterward, his brothers talked with him. When the news reached Pharaoh's palace and Joseph's brothers had come, Pharaoh and all his officials were pleased. Pharaoh said to Joseph, Tell your brothers, do this. leave your animals and return to the land of Canaan, and bring your father and your families back to me. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you can enjoy the fat of the land. You were also directed to tell them, do this. Take some carts from Egypt for your children and your wives. And get your father to come. Never mind about your belongings, because the best of all of Egypt will be yours. So the sons of Israel did this. Joseph gave them carts as Pharaoh had commanded, and also gave them provisions for their journey. To each of them he gave new clothing, but to Benjamin he gave 300 shekels of silver and 5 sets of clothes. And this is what he sent to his father: 10 donkeys loaded with the best things of Egypt, and and 10 hold on. And 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and other provisions for his journey. Then he sent his brothers away, and as they were leaving, he said to them, don't quarrel on the way. So they went up out of Egypt and came for their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. They told him, Joseph is still alive. In fact, he is the ruler of all of Egypt. Jacob was stunned. He did not believe them. But when they told him everything Joseph had said to them, and when they saw the carts Joseph had sent them to carry back, the spirit of their father revived. And Israel said, I am convinced my son Joseph is still alive. I will go see him before I die. Let me compile a scripture summary really quick. For this morning's scripture summary, I wrote down, God will sometimes send you certain people God will sometimes send certain people to save you from a situation. That comes from Genesis 45, verse 7. And you know what? I, for one, have definitely been in situations where that has had to happen. I'm not sure about y'all, but for me, that's never rang more true. There were several times before I had come to Christ on my own where that had to happen. I'm not going to go into that, but just know that it has happened to me before, and it probably can, will, or has happened to y'all as well. So, yes, God can send you certain people to save you from a situation. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and we will be back on Monday morning. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Bye.